Hey folks, I know I was just here, but something cool happened, and I want to share it partially to help illustrate the point of a lot of my commentary about energy, human behavior, and then the whole idea of what goes around comes around. You know, in the last video, I was talking about, as I do, about. Well, let me just share something that cool that happened, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, I live in Omaha, Nebraska. Today is January 20th, and this is the beginning of Black Sabbath's final tour. This is it. It's called The End, okay? And am I a Black Sabbath fan? Of course I am. You know, I got my history proper, and I love heavy music, and I can still remember the first time I heard this on the radio. It really did. It was scary, you know, and intriguing, and I wanted more. Anyway, at the announcement of the tour beginning in Omaha, the response here locally was frenzy. Those tickets went like that. And I mean, the tickets weren't cheap, you know, so I couldn't afford $200, 150, 200, whatever. Really wanted to go. So I interact on Facebook pretty regular. And so this morning, a fellow musician in town, Lee, had posted excitedly, so, you know, getting pumped for the show, who's going, you know, who's going to Black Sabbath, you know, and I'm excited for them, and so I just had to say, you know, I couldn't afford it, you know, I wish, you know, just very honestly, you know, but I had to chime in because I'm excited for them, you know. Less than an hour ago, I got a message from another young lady who I barely know, but I know through the music scene, you know. She's a friend of a friend's, comes to my shows, and said, hey, I got an extra ticket for you. I get to see Black Sabbath tonight. Not only do I get to see Black Sabbath, but she explained to me that her friend Michelle, who I also vaguely know through music, her dad is an employee of the auditorium. I believe I got that right. So anyway, they get the box seats, you know, they get to sit in the club area, and Dad's not going, so she said, you can have his ticket. I not only get to go, but I get a good seat, a $150 ticket. I treat people well. I'm honest, and I'm real, so I'm not perfect. Sorry about the light fluctuations. I don't, you know. But what I'm trying to say all the time here is that just so much of the time, unless or you as an individual, unless you're doing something purposely to create negative energy, when you're on the receiving end of it, much of the time, what's going on is a reflection of the problems within the person sending it to you, or, as I've discovered many times, it's mental problems, emotional problems, and somehow you, through a series of events, end up becoming the target. I had no expectation about being able to see Black Sabbath tonight by saying what I said, you know. In my head, was it a fleeting hope, you know, put out by saying something, well, maybe? Well, of course, you know, but no expectation. And when I went to pick up the ticket from Michelle, who works at the Ohm Center, gave me a big hug. I basically remembered her from, again, the scene, but the whole gesture was one of love and positive energy. And I just said, I can't just take the ticket. So I gave her some records, a couple of my albums. I said, I gotta, thank you. Would you be willing to accept some of my music in return for this a wonderful gift? And she said, of course. Really, really all you got to do is just, write a thank you note to my dad. So, thank you, Mr. Gress, for letting me have your ticket. We don't live in a perfect world, and karma. The idea of karma, I don't know if it's real or not. There seems to be a lot of weight to it. It's imperfect, but the idea of you get what you give, that's what I'm talking about. You treat people decently, you go about your business with no intent of malice, and it's a good foundation. I don't know if I said this. I've been thinking it to say it. I know hundreds of people who call me a friend. I am familiar with thousands of people who I can basically remember through music, work, whatever. Out of all these people, I personally can identify 3 people that I know who are holding a grudge against me. And in each of those cases, the primary reason I can see why we have a difficulty is some kind of mental issue, because I'm not beholden to these people's idea of who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be thinking. So that's why I come correct like this, because others need this information. I see through social network and through interacting with people the constant battle that many people wage against others being mean to them, or people who don't know how to stand up for themselves, or people who take it very personally when others are unkind, to the point of feeling suicidal. And that's why I say these things, because, especially if you have done something in the past and you've done your best to atone, you don't deserve the ongoing abuse, but you have to claim it. You don't leave it up to others. I'm not leaving it up to others. I'm saying very clearly, people who stand in judgment of me, stand in judgment of you, have no business, because they couldn't pass the judgment themselves. And it's not a righteous thing to be doing in the first damn place. I'm using this as an illustration of what I've been trying to say. Love is a higher vibration. This Black Sabbath ticket came to me because of love and respect. Because I do my absolute best to treat people with dignity and respect. And whenever I've become aware that in the past I may have done something to offend someone, I atone. I apologize when necessary, The world needs this message. Folks with negative, shitty agendas, people who don't like themselves, people who, what is the word? Rationalize their negative, foolish, selfish, unkind behavior towards other people. It's time to call them out, and it's a brave thing to do, because, as you know, the first thing that a knothead will do is try to knock you on your head because he doesn't like you or what you're saying. So standing up is risky, but it must be done. The crooks, thugs, and just really downright ugly-spirited people have been holding court and running game for a long time now, because we cower to it. And good people suffer unnecessarily. Innocent people suffer unnecessarily due to the... You hear what I'm saying? I could go on and on. So I'll just stop by going back to music. I'm so thankful I get to attend Black Sabbath's last concert, the first show of the last tour here in Omaha. Here's some of my Black Sabbath on vinyl. This one I love. I've said it before when I've shown it before. I wish I could remix this album. Yeah, I hate the way it's engineered. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Great album, though. This one, too, I love. Black Sabbath Volume 4. My first Black Sabbath album that I ever owned. Bought it in high school, Master of Reality. No, I don't have the inserts anymore. Records beat to shit. I took it everywhere with me because it was so intriguing to me. Paranoid. This is not a gatefold. I have had an original. Wish I'd kept it now. Black Sabbath. Do I have an opinion about whether or not this stuff is actually satanic? Please, come on. How's that for a response? Just, what?